We jump in to another pair here in this 41 litter. Again, their pedigree would read walks alone, leaps in bounds, gringo. Again, that particular sow would have come from Adam Becken family in the Determine Your Destiny sale. She would have been bred to a Jasper son that was at Beck's, so that worked pretty well for us the first time. So we went back to the walks alone and kind of went back to the Jasper well, if you will. We've got dash 3 here on the stick, excuse me. That would be lot 11. Another really stout featured gilt that's got a very neat look out in front of her shoulder, very big and very square in terms of her chest and her toes as she comes directly at you. This one's probably got a little bit more punch, if you will, out of the backside of her shoulder. She's a little rounder bodied and probably just a little bit more ready today than from a muscle and a bulk standpoint. So if you like feeding them just that have a little bit more from the start, jump in here because this one's stout featured. She's got a little bit more punch. She's a little rounder bodied and a little bit more three-dimensional there in the lower portion of her skeleton. But still, as you crawl in behind her, she's radical in terms of her pin bone and still very within herself as she goes away from you. We like this one probably to go maybe a little bit earlier than the other ones just from a feeding window perspective. I think this one can get into the early part of July and maybe even the late part of June, depending on how well she takes the feed bucket. But has some outlying pieces, very stout and very sharp in terms of her look. Jump into lot 12, 41-4 is kind of the smaller gilt in this particular, or excuse me, male. He would be a Yorkshire male. 41-4, lot 12. We think this one fits that state fair window extremely well. Still stout and burly in terms of his appearance, but still got a really good look in front of his shoulder. This bear probably, I think, fits into that middle part of the window of being kind of a heavy middle there in Springfield, or if it's Illinois State Fair or your respected Midwest State Fair. Like this guy's build and design from the side, and still he matches it with ample amount of feature as you get off to the side of him. And when you crawl in behind him, he's got plenty of muscle for this stage of the game. He's still green up high, but still bulky at the ground. Looks like he's on his way up. So lot 11, 43-3 would be the gilt in this litter, or gilt in this pen, and 41-4 will be the male pig that's kind of chasing the broom there. We've got two more of these 41 litters, so a very deep litter through and through. We're excited to highlight these. Again, walks alone, leaps and bounds, gringo.